Alright, in this video series I want to set up a JS workflow or JavaScript workflow. We'll install VS Code, GitHub, and GitHub Desktop and just see how to generally work with JavaScript projects. So I've actually created a fake student account and I've uninstalled everything from my machine. I took off VS Code, GitHub, GitHub Desktop, everything. So hopefully this all works like a fresh install. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use Visual Studio Code as our editor for programming. It's my favorite for the moment, and we'll download for Windows. And it does the download here. Thanks for downloading. Awesome. I'm so happy. And gives us some instructions, but we've got this executable here. Looks like it's finished downloading. Should be able to click on that, and it'll run me through the install process. We read the agreement very carefully and accept it. Hit next. Sure, I'm just going to save it to the default location. Next. Sure, I don't need a start menu folder. Next. Okay, I like to add this open with code. You don't have to, but I like to have it. So it allows you, when you right-click on a folder or file, you can open it with code directly from the menu, context menu that shows up. Okay, everything else is good. You can do a desktop icon if you want or not. Next, and it's all the review stuff. Install. Yay, and that should install. So like I said, Visual Studio Code is going to be our editor, and we're going to set up a little bit of a program template, like a starting template for JavaScript. Launch Visual Studio Code. No, I don't want to launch it yet. Yes, I do. Finish. Change my mind. Okay, so here's Visual Studio Code. Yay! On the left here, this is your file explorer. There's no project open, no folder open right now. We can search for things. We're not going to worry about this right now. This is actually for kind of our Git control, but we're going to use GitHub Desktop instead. And extensions, this is an important spot. And actually, while we're here, let's just do our extensions right away. Live Server is an extension I recommend. Live Server by Ritwick Day. 23 million downloads, so we hit install. And hopefully it installs. Yay! Okay, another one I'm going to recommend is Prettier. Prettier is basically, you can set it up so that it'll auto-format your code and stuff like that. So that's pretty awesome. Why are there other options? Code formatter. Let's do the one with the most downloads. Sure. This one here. Install. I wonder if there's like a newer version out or something like that. Anyway, I think this is the one I've done before. Okay, so now if I delete that, it'll show installed Live Server and Prettier, and it's recommending some other ones and some popular ones, but I'm just going to ignore that for now. Bye-bye. Okay, so Live Server and Prettier, and we'll show you how to use those in a little bit. You should notice now this Go Live here. That's added because of the Live Server. And the Prettier, we'll set that up in a second. Okay, so I'm going to close those. And now we don't have a folder open. So whenever we use our editor, we want to have a project folder. So let's set up our project folders. So I'm going to go to Windows Explorer here. And I'm just going to go to Desktop for now. You probably want to save this to your documents, or if you're in the regular school year. I'm actually doing this video for summer school, online summer school, so kids are at home. But you could do your F drive, right, your network drive. But for now, I'm just going to do my desktop. I'm going to create a new folder. Let's say we're taking CS20. I'm going to create a CS20 folder. Okay. And inside of CS20, if I want to make a new project, I'm just going to create a folder called HTML CSS JS template. Okay, and we're going to use this to build a little template where we can start all of our projects from. Okay, now to open this, we've got a couple options. I can right-click and say open with code. I can click open folder and navigate to this folder and open it up. I can go file, open folder. Let's just do that one. Open folder, desktop, CS20, and I want to open this folder. Hold on. If I click on that, say select folder, hopefully that opens up my HTML, CSS, and yes, I trust the author. Okay, so you can see this should be the folder name right here. All right, now inside of this, I'm just going to create my new files. We need a index.html. We need a, hold on. Oh, what did I, oh, I entered the wrong, I hit new file in the open editors. I want to make sure I'm in my project folder here. I'm going to close that actually. Okay, so let's do main.js or script.js, doesn't matter. And another style.css. Okay, and we'll go to our HTML file, and in here, I'm going to use the shortcut !tab, and this just builds a little HTML template for us. I'm just going to call this the tab title, and we want to link to our style.css, and I want to do a script tag. See, VS Code has these nice little shortcuts, right? I just have to type link and it automatically do script, same thing. And my source is going to be main.js. Okay, and I'm going to add the defer here just because normally you need to put your script tag at the end of the body, or you can hit defer. It just makes sure that it'll load all the page elements first before it tries to run the JavaScript. Okay, all this other stuff is just part of the basics, title, link, script, that looks good. Let's put a little h1 in here, just saying title, maybe an HR, and then a paragraph saying lorem 20. I love this lorem. You can do whatever you want, lorem 100, and it'll add 100 words. Control Z to undo. That's just a cool little thing. All right, now this prettier here, how do I use the prettier? Like if I wanted to format this, let's say I accidentally, didn't have things lined up properly, whatever. I want to format it. Oh, look, it auto formatted for me. How did it know to do that? Okay, so let's, I'm doing a lot right now, sorry. Let's set up, hopefully you're following along here. I think we're okay. Let's set up our settings right now. So I'm going to go to here. Well, actually, first talk about color theme. So you can mess around and choose different themes. Have fun with that. I think I'm just going to go with, yeah, I'll just leave it with this one. I think that's fine. And then you can also go to, I wanted to go to settings, actual settings. Here we go, settings, control comma. And in the settings here, word wrap is one thing that I want to do. Editor word wrap right here. Oh, it's on. Okay, I wonder if it saved some of my default settings even though I uninstalled. Probably did. Okay, anyway, word wrap is on. I also like to do mouse wheel zoom. Mouse wheel zoom has been selected. Okay, yeah, so, and that mouse wheel zoom just allows me to hold control and then do the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Okay, I find that really handy, especially for video lessons like this. So mouse wheel zoom and that. And then I think the other one is format on save. Yeah, and that's checked out already. Okay, so format on save, and that's why when I saved it, it ran the formatter. And because I have Prettier installed, it knows to use Prettier. You might have something on yours. I'm going to hit F1. Yeah, see this format document. Format document width. Oh yeah, so you can configure your default formatter. See, there's a built-in HTML one. So you just want to make sure that Prettier is your default. So if you hit F1, it takes you to this command palette here, and you can go configure default formatter. Okay, maybe that doesn't format. Why is it not finding it? Formatter. Okay, well, it came up before. F1. Maybe if we do type format document width, and then it shows up configure default formatter, and then you can choose your default. Yay! Anyway, so what it does now is every time I hit Control Save, it automatically formats and does things beautifully. Okay. What else do we want to do? Live server, Prettier. Oh yeah, how do we use live server? So I have this as my active browser. And if I click on Go Live, it should launch this project in the active browser, which it did. I'm going to inspect and go to my console. Oh yeah, so this fave icon error because it doesn't have a favorite icon, whatever, we just ignore that. Okay, and here's my project. Let's add some styles to it. I would like to add a main, and I'm going to put all of this inside of the main. Save that. Because what I like to do is select my main and give it a width of like 700 pixels, make it be margin auto. Yeah, that should be good. And that should center our stuff, right? So now that main has a width of 700 pixels and it's centered. And what else do I want to do? Maybe something like a default font family. We could do Arial. Or let's do the, what is it? There's this Apple system UI thing. I think that font looks pretty basic. Yeah, okay. So default font, choose whatever font you want. And in here, just to make sure the JavaScript is working, let's just go console.log hi. And we should see hi in the console. That's nice. All right. That looks beautiful. So we can close the settings. This is now a nice little template. We've got Visual Studio Code installed. If I close this now and close this now, and I want to go back to here, right? All the files are here. I can now just right click and say open with code. I forgot if I even talked about Live Server. The benefit of Live Server is that it automatically refreshes the page. So when I hit go live, if I decide to change this to, page title, and I hit Control Save, it automatically refreshes the page for me. I don't have to hit refresh, right? And you can tell it's running Live Server because it has this as the root. That's the local server running on port 5500, which you can see right here, port 5500. Okay, wow. First video, I think that's all I'm going to do. We're going to stop here. What we've done, what did we do? We installed VS Code. We looked quickly at the color theme, word wrap, mouse will zoom, live server prettier, and we actually created this little template in our folder as well. I did more than I planned on. Okay, that's exciting. All right, this is our little template. All right, we'll stop there. In the next video, we'll continue with GitHub.